Hello friends, I'm here at Liverpool City Centre and I've met some amazing men of God preaching the gospel in the streets. Here is one of them. Do you mind mentioning your name, sir?
I'm John Priestley.
John Priestley.
P-R-I-E-S-T-L-Y.
Great, sir, great. It's so encouraging to see you preaching the gospel here to people randomly here and sharing leaflets.
Well, people need to know if they're lost, they can be found. They don't have to stay lost. Jesus is the only escape from hell and damnation. Jesus gives us the opportunity of a lifetime to have a better life and to be able to spend time with better people. There's so many wicked people in the world. That God's people are good people. The devil's people are bad people. And mixing with God's people is, a wonderful thing that you can experience in life. And you want to be one of God's people amongst other of God's people.
How are people receiving the gospel here in the streets? Are you finding
Most people really have no interest in following Jesus. They have no idea how good a life it is following Jesus. They have more interested in following a mobile phone than Jesus. If you could say, what would you rather do? Spend eternity with Jesus or have a mobile phone that you could talk to people on? A lot of people will say, well, in all honesty, I prefer my mobile phone.
So, should we pray more for people to respond?
What we need to do is save a remnant because God told us this would happen. He told us in the last days that it says in His Bible, in the last days, which we're in right now quite clearly, that people will be lovers of themselves and lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. So, as I pointed out before, people love their mobile phones more than Jesus, a lover of pleasure more than lovers of God. Exactly what Jesus said would take place in these days. So all we can do is salvage what little we can. We can't exactly plunder hell and populate heaven, but what we need to do is plunder hell as much as we possibly can and get people going to heaven. You don't get many results in today's godless world, but you just save those that you can.
All right, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you. One more question.
Go on.
One more question is, do you think the church is doing right to just, those that are just staying within the four walls of the church? Should the church come out here and try to speak to people and just the way you are doing? Not many are doing what you are doing. Some of us are comfortable.
Too many churches, even they're not fit to take the gospel anywhere. They have a sugar-coated approach that isn't a genuine article. If people want to talk about the gospel, they don't want to mention heaven and hell. They don't want to mention the fires of hell. They don't want to mention the judgments of God. They don't want to mention that God punishes people for their sin if they won't get right with Him. That sugar-coated pill is worthless and just fit to be thrown in the bin.
Thank you so much. What should I have viewers from Africa and from all across the world, from almost all notable nations. What can one do to be born again? What can one do to get?
How do you get right with God? Well, there's certain branches of Christianity where they say, pray this prayer. Might be the Lord's Prayer, might be the Hail Mary or something like that. Pray this prayer. You don't even need to mean it. Just say these words to God, and it's like a magic spell. You get what you want. No, our lives have to be pleasing to God before we get answers from God. And in order to be born again, we have to make a genuine, sincere decision to follow Jesus and His ways and discover His ways and walk in them. It's not enough to just say a prayer that you don't even mean. I just wanted to let the viewers know, if you want to see my YouTube channel, go to YouTube and type in Joshua, Apollos, John Abraham Priestley. Apollos is spelled Apollos, and Priestley is spelled Priestly. I would like to get a few more hits, so assuming you can visit my channel and hopefully you'll get something out of my talk. I hope the review soon.
Thank you so much, and it's so nice to realize that they are not just preaching in the streets alone. They have presses online. This is the way to go. I think the church needs to really flood the internet with God, the message, the gospel of Jesus. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much for the great work you're doing.
You're very welcome. It's
Keep
great.
it up.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's it.